So, hello everyone, welcome to my live reaction review of Attack on Titan episode 56 or episode 3 then of season 2. And I have to say before I start this here, there's been a lot of issues with my recording device or whatever. Maybe it's coding, but when I uploaded this yesterday, maybe it's YouTube then. So I uploaded to YouTube, everything just gets screen tearing, gets pink, it's really weird. I haven't even found anything similar to it. That's my Boku no Hero Academia video was like 4 or 5 hours later than what it usually is, because I had to like convert it like 2 times to manage to read that stuff. So it's really weird. So maybe, unfortunately, maybe I sit in like auto convert over back and forth with this as well to make it look good on YouTube. Because when I get to YouTube, then everything just crashed for it since yesterday. Same with 7 days since yesterday. It's very, very weird. So hopefully this video will be smooth and I can use upload it right away and it'll be correct on the upload and everything. Actually, so there's one thing really weird. On a live stream yesterday, it didn't even upload the streams. So usually, when you stream on YouTube, it all saves it for you. You can't even not save it. Like it all saves it for you. Either it's private or not private. You have to save it. It didn't save it for me. And that is still there, kinda. So I can find my old video of Solotaria, but I can't even remove it either. I can't even get to it. So it's really weird. So we see after this live reaction here, if I actually even can remove the videos. It's really funky, But anyway, I hope this is gonna be a lot about Sasha more. That is a new thing for me, right? So I can make some spin-off thing there, yeah. But probably it's more about Conny, which I know is gonna be really good though. So this is where the anime is gonna be probably the best, probably, because even the manga is really good. So anyway, start at 3, 2, 1, and go. There's my button there. Yes, I mean, I'm not blind, you know, it's not actually blind. I read the manga last week, worst chapter in my life pretty much. It was really, really bad. Yeah, so Conny's hometown, everyone is, you know, it's gonna be a huge amount of foreshadowing here in this episode probably, if you look carefully at the animation. That episode ended right with seeing this huge Titan. They couldn't move right. Titan is too big to kind of like arms, like T-Rex arms, right? And he couldn't actually leg as well. Yeah, no one is here. It's escaped. Conny and I. Yeah, he's like, no. This is something else that's weird here. Yeah. Why would they believe it houses not humans there? Yeah. I think this is pretty much when you realize for it's also all about thinking in the Titans. So yeah, left in a different comment how you like this episode. This episode should kind of reveal the whole main story kind of works, how the world works, I would say. Yeah, locate the breach in the wall. This scene here is gonna be pretty big. Let's see how they animate it. You can see how they animate this part now. Okairi, yeah. Yeah, Titan is like, welcome home, Okairi na-san, yeah. Yeah, this scene. I thought it was very predictable here and where the manga was. And Rainer is like, come up! Oh yeah, and Money Watchers. Yeah, rewatching this now after reading the full manga it makes more sense now, yeah. Titan is so freaky though. It looks so, yeah. Yeah, it's intro, yeah. The Titan also is so freaky, but yeah. It's And I was like this intro, like this opening, this song just feels so just impactful. Like before I was like a big or not whatever, like before I even really got into Attack on Titan, so not what into it, I read the manga, whatever. The intro, the opening of the first Attack on Titan was so impactful. I could watch that opening over and over again without even having, you know, like without even following the anime and so on. Right, just doing binge watching it over and so on. Such an impactful opening, the first one. Second one is, I think, is much worse. First one is so much better. But the song is pretty good, the second one as well. But the first one is, the animation though is good in all three of them. The animation is good as well. Right now here when he jumped off the wall, so yeah, the animation is of course. But this kind of this part is not very good in. They have some foreshadowing scenes. As I mentioned in my video about this opening, the last opening. A couple of foreshadowing here, of course. Fights and so on. And then it goes all freaky here with the Beast Titan and animals. And the whale, the flying whale, and the dinosaur. Then this part is like, what is this? The turtle, yeah. Then it sounds like, what the hell? the last few screens there is like, what the yeah. Yeah, episode 28 is, yeah. I forget about what episode was. Southwestward. So I wanted to go back to Sasha again, because that part, you know, this is not really manga. There are a couple of ovas and like side stories, so but they really covered that good. So Sasha Blue Sport is pretty much the yeah. So here we have Ymir and Krista. Freckles. So they have a kind of attractive, you know, older female here, right? She's gonna die. It's like, I mean, I don't even remember if she does or not, but it feels like, well, she's a quite attractive female, you know, scout in the scout unit. She's dead. Like she never will survive. Like I don't remember if she, honestly, but I was saying that when I read it in manga as well. There's no way in hell you're gonna survive, right? There's no way in hell that you're gonna survive. I'll take a Titan one. You don't. It's like, especially when you're an older female, they always die the first, pretty much there. I don't know, anyone from like the veteran scout team, except pretty much like level, right? Everyone else always dies, pretty much like. It's like, oh, Mika is the second best at the level. Oh, don't. It's like that's how it is, right? This story part I think is so weird in the manga because they never really focus to like Ymir and Krista. And suddenly they are like the, I don't know, like huge side story. That this recipe is more important now than Eren and so on. Spoiler, but yeah, this is so weird. This is. Hopefully the anime can make it more sense, but it actually just can't. Because this can't use background characters until this episode, pretty much, the last episode. Yeah, it's like, yep, here they are. These are not focus characters. Like, okay. Yeah, Krista's family. Never really got why they left the whole place without a gear. It felt like, we have to go there, no! Yeah, well, how do I help if you don't have any weapons, do you? That never made no sense. Yeah, it's one of the ugly Titan. Yeah, see, those guys aren't, you know, scout units. They're like, they're guards, yeah, because the unicorn is the royal guard, the last wall, yeah. So those are some other, you know, the safer guards, just living the afterlife and so on, yeah. Oh, yeah, her, yeah, this character, yeah, but quite an intelligent Captain Rico. Because I'm intelligent, the smartest character. Yeah, Trying to find Hannes. Classic old good Hannes here. Yeah, trying to find a breach here in the titles. Yeah, definitely gonna hear people only anime only watchers what they think can happen here. It's it's very Why can't they find a breach? Is this a Sasha part maybe? No. Looks like. Okay, yeah, so they're still. I guess they're still searching here. That's the guy at least that was with Conny, right? Yeah. Conny, Raynor, and who's with Mr. Them? Bad probably. Were they here titles now? Are they that stealthy? Like, weren't they here Titan? See his fantasy here, like Titan's running in. It's like, oh shit, but I don't know. I don't think that these Titan fish sneak up on someone. You should note they're much more inactive during night, right? That's what they were talking about, so they should fight them more than nights. It's hard to see them, but they are much more inactive. I think you're gonna meet someone else here. Yeah, exactly. They're meeting the other teams. They're going a circle, right? Because they have walls, right? So it's a big circle. So eventually you meet the other team, right? If you just keep going. Yeah. So here's Emery and Krista's team and so on, and that babe there. Yeah. So this probably be a tower then, right? Yeah. Hurry the man. I think yeah. That part's gonna be super cool. Might be this episode. It might be really cool to see. I think so. Yeah, this is gonna be a really sports anime here. One of the biggest parts of the whole manga. It's gonna be really cool to see. Yeah. So you can't find the hole. There's a moonlight. Pitch black night. And soon as it's a moonlight. Det heter it, yeah. Yeah. This is gonna be some kind of weird old tower castle there. That will have a lot of cool story, I think. Okay. So primitive torches are. The information that's like they use torches because they last longer. Like, what else would you use? They don't have like freaking. Is there electricity? So, what else would they even use without torches? Some kind of some kind of, I guess, some kind of gas, oil. I don't know. Yeah, it's like whatever they use. The torches. They're like medieval, right? With some weird 3D gear. Yeah, this Levi, Hanji, Aaron part. Well, that's a rock that Annie created, I think. Yeah, it's an ordinary rock. Yeah, female Titan hardening. Identical to the wall stone. Yeah, Vars are hard. I mean, I think it's obvious since last season, so extremely obvious. And Aubrey said it as well, like twice now. And obviously you can then wonder, why is the wall cult? Yeah, why do you have a wall cult? It's obviously I think that's a big question. Why do they have a wall cult that knew about this? It's not ugly. Oh god, this is painful. Like, it's like freezing into the wall, like the Han Solo going to. Yeah, so talking about the first wall, right? In the first episode of the first everything, the whole start of the whole anime, right? When they blasted the hole in that. So they wanna use the hardening to close that the original wall, right? In the hometown. And then they can just get the whole bigger circle back, because now there's circle 1 and 2, right? And they can get the whole third circle back. Wall Maria could be usable again. Because now there's a hole, right, in Wall Maria, so that's what they keep attacking them. Titans. And well, they're looking for the next wall, right? The next wall. Because then they can go into the last circle. Yeah, so Shigana Shima. And then close off the wall there. That's the plan there, right? Yeah, because they don't move during the night. And also why, you know, the priest wanted them to cover the title in the wall at sunlight. Yeah, Eric can't use hardening though. That's another problem. Can you harden? Aaron? He's like, what? He's like, I never done that. What the hell? Yeah. It must. Captain Levi. Classic Captain Levi. You do it. No option. Just do it. Yeah. Doesn't matter what you struggle, just do it. It's classic him. You have to succeed. Yeah. Now we got some flashback here from what his home and the basement. Yeah, the key to the basement. Yeah, the basement. And they finally get to the basement! I just wanna get to the basement! Can I just get there one day? Oh god. The basement. This is great. This is a great chapter later on in the manga when someone is like, I just want to see the basement. Like, yes, echoing everyone watching the Attack on Titans. Just get to the basement. What do they know? They actually know. Okay, maybe some. Oh yeah, everyone has to evacuate from the second wall, yeah. And that's true. So they're all fleeing into the last wall then. Which would make it really, really inhabitable, because it means that you're like, the last wall is much smaller, right? Each one is smaller, right? So that obviously because it's side of the other one. So when everyone goes into this inner circle, it's going to be really, really people there. So that's really what the witch though. Yeah, we all die instantly if all the walls would become Velitos. I think these parts are the slower portion of the anime here. Can I see the Eren, Oji, Levi, the priest guy? Yeah, these are kind of like, they're more the storyline part, but they're kind of slower as well. I don't know. Hard to say. I mean, the pacing isn't bad, but I think it'd be a little faster, maybe. Maybe because I know what they're gonna say. Yeah, I'm not doing this blind, so. Yeah, I cannot say anything. The truth of the world. Yeah, we never change. Rather die than tell you. Yeah. That's sad. Is it Kenny? No, it's... Oh yeah, so let's talk about this. Okay, yeah, I've seen this. Okay, yeah. Oh, Sasha's back. I was ignoring Sasha. Guys, I'm here with paper. Shut up, Sasha. Just walking back and forth behind him, like, come on, listen to me. Okay, so I guess the Sasha part is never is to solve them if the father survive them. Yeah, that's a little unfortunate. Yeah, so now they need this person. Yeah. Oh, poor Sasha. Sasha? So you're here? Stop ignoring me! Super serious message! Poor Sasha! Get a potato! Yeah, it's the smallest girl of all. Yeah, Kimpachi, yeah, it's like blondie, yeah. Long golden hair, Kimpachi, long. She's cute! Yeah. Yeah, Reina Dimir. Yeah. And blondie, cute blonde girl. Ymir, we have to talk. Yeah, so here are in tower then, so yeah, they are likely surrounded. Yeah. This is gonna be really awesome in the anime. Probably that episode though. We'll see how they feel, if they can survive this surrounding here. And of course, as you can figure out, everyone wants to save Krista now, so yeah, they're very active, even though there's no sunlight. And there he is. Yeah, there is the Beast Titan. There he is, the fat Beast Titan. There he comes walking. It's more like, it's like a beast. Yeah, the Beast Titan. That guy, like, that's that guy that would look at Mika. It's like, yeah, the weird freaky Titan that looked at Mika when he was getting killed. Yeah. You have to go and save the cute blonde girl. Yeah, what for 100? I don't know why you like her so much. No one gets it. But just protect him. He's a Titan. Of course I will. Yeah, just protect him. We don't care. I don't care why. You just do it. Don't die, man. And the Titan are a lot of here. A lot of them. Like here, something like that. It's kind of classic. Yeah, I mean, she looks very attractive, right? As a female. Oh, but she's dead in 1 second now. It's like, she's too hot. And she's looking at that's Titan. The best Titan. Here's the Beast Titan, he's climbing the wall. He's climbed up the wall, and there's no problem for him. And look, he looks back here to the tower. Yeah, restrain yourself, stop killing yourself. When you find it, stop going full rage all the time. Yeah, so go to the tower. Utgard Castle. Nicely animated. I mean, yeah, that was very good. So it was really good quality animation, you know. Then we have the ending. The biggest spoiling ending ever in history of animation. The greatest foreshadowing ever, pretty much. Yeah, so let's talk about some what's it called? Review. I should review it. Yeah, it's a hard reviewing the titles because you already know what's going to happen. So then all the anime could watch for that. But I think it is really, really interesting how they do this curveball there. Like, it's a huge curveball, right? I know they didn't say your name there, but I mean, if you didn't get that, you didn't watch the episode. I mean, first of all, they have the whole Krista and Ymir discussion, like, oh, it's about my family, or do you actually like me, or someone, because they all do this relationship thing, right? And then we see the wall cut. He's like, well, there's one person you can talk to, maybe, that's like, this, she's in the cadet forces. And it's like, oh yeah, and then Armin's like, this cute blonde girl. It's like, yeah, Kimpa, she's this cute blondie. It's all hanging around with Ymir. And they're like, what, that girl? Yeah, and so obviously it's Crystal, I mean, obviously. So I don't think I'm spoiling that. It's like, yeah, like, who else would it be? We see them being together all the time in this last episode. And now they're like, yeah, there's a blonde girl next to Ymir. It's like, okay, yeah, that girl. So, it's really is a huge curveball, the whole story. I don't know what's happening, but I don't want to spoil, say why she's important or whatever, but even read the manga as well, this was a very big curveball. Suddenly they're just like, oh, so she is super important. This kind of background character. Let's get the preview here. So they tried to push my title, a really ugly scene of it. It's like, and I think that all goes to die again. See Reiner, some backstory from Reiner. Yeah, the soldier. Yeah, it's gonna be about Reiner and Ymir next episode. But I always find it very like. I always find it very, very too predictable. I think they're always very it's always way too predictable. I think. I don't even remember. Honestly, guys, I haven't read it. You have to think about it. The anime had a break for like 3-4 years, right? And I read this pretty much after or during the anime, so I haven't read this chapter since like 2-3 years back. Okay, it is 2 years, right? And I kind of binged read it through, right? When I read this, and it really is to me though obvious that blonde hair, the older lady, she's gonna die. The older lady who didn't have much impact, she's gonna die. Like it's just. I think that's a big problem thing, right? If you I never saw the older episodes as well, but if you watch something like Walking Dead or something, right? Then you know that okay, the absolute main character, like Rick, he's not gonna die, but everyone else could die, except Daryl. But yeah, like you get what I mean. Only that the 3-4 absolute main character, they won't die, but everyone else can die. And in that, I really comic from that, by the way, they actually do kill other people off, right? In the TV show, not in the comics, in Walking Dead. So that is some excitement. But in Attack on Titan, there are unfortunately, I think it's a big issue with Attack on Titan, and I haven't listened to that episode properly, but I think it's just so predictable. Honestly, I don't remember. I kind of have some, back in my head, but it feels like they're all gonna die, right? And that's a big issue, I think, with Attack on Titan, because it's the exact same thing again. This tower thing is like the Force all over again. It's like this older, much more veteran, really good fighter. They're all gonna be like, look, it's all rookies, and then they all die. And then the rookies are gonna survive because they are the rookies with more, main storyline, plot armor, right? That's just a huge issue, I think, in this whole and this anime. I mean, I'm betting $10 on they're all gonna die pretty much. All the older ones are gonna die, even though they should be much better fighters than the rookies and they have the gear. While like whoever, like Conny is there and he's gonna survive because plot armor pretty much. I think it's a big issue. I think it's very obvious too. We see next episode though, but yeah, I just want to say this first because I think it's just the ending there is like, yeah, let's fight them, and you know those older guys are gonna all perish without any chance, right? Anyway, so but back to the whole Crystal thing. I think that's interesting. It's an interesting plot kind of thing actually, and actually unfortunately something they do too much actually in this manga. Spoiler, I think in the end of this manga where it's right now, but it's like. This is actually still the thing when the manga and anime is going to be really good because there's an interesting kind of curveball plot thing there. So we go from this like Aaron and Armin and blah blah, and we see these other cadets like Bernholt and Rainer and who more do we have? Sasha, of course, Conny and so on, and of course Jean. I love Jean. Jean has no screen time now, but Jean is a great character. Then I always really like Jean. He's like a real kind of relatable character, I think. So we see those kind of characters. And we do see like Ymir and Krista, but it's very in the background. Annie had a lot of screen time though, so you kind of guess you could choose Ymir. But Annie had a lot of screen time back and forth, fighting with Aaron, fighting with Mikasa. So she has a lot. So yeah, definitely had a lot of screen time, I think, in the first season, right? So kinda, if you will guess who's gonna be the Titan, you probably, if someone don't be, you probably wouldn't guess like Krista because she had no screen time, right? But now suddenly now she has like just a very very short cute scene with like Sasha and Ymir last episode, and then suddenly there's more screen here, and then she's the biggest sport ever, right? It's very curveballing. So definitely comment about that and see what you think about it. This is very it's quite surprising, but I think it's good though. It was good in the manga, I think it was good in the anime as well. But I think it's an interesting way to do it actually. Interesting way to do it. However though, it is a little problem I think with Attack on Titan is the build up of the whole series. Because it's kind of like suddenly you just have this guy over here. That actually is a new main character. You know, not main character, but that's the new focus now in the story. It's just a random person over here. And it's like, what? It feels innocent in the manga. And I don't think the anime did it much better. Because I know I had the scene with Ymir, Krista, and Sasha like one before, but that's the only thing about it. In retrospect, I think that the anime could have had Krista and Ymir, Krista at least speak a little more and so, you know, maybe not this episode, but maybe like the first episode of the season and so on, because they kind of know where they're going with, right? But the manga felt like he just kind of just jumped into that, with Krista being in focus suddenly. I don't know, yeah, unfortunately the anime. I think the anime actually could have more Krista and some pause, maybe. But yeah, they go to the tower. The Titan shouldn't be alive, or not alive, but shouldn't be very active on nights. But we do see that the beast of course passes by them, so I think it's kind of a telling that he is from behind it. He can also climb the walls, so I think it's just predictable. I think it's assumable he can just, you know, climb it from the outside, right? As with the Colossal Titan and so on. That he could like actually or from the far outside, right? But so we see in the beginning there, I think it's very, and actually rewatching this episode, but watching it after I had read the manga and the whole thing. That scene there with of course the Titan scene with Conny there. I mean, I predicted that correctly the first time I read it anyway, but now it makes more sense to me when I rewatch it now. Then the other details, but I don't say too much there. Very yeah, some more parts there, but. That's a really interesting part. What I actually didn't like that episode was that Sasha part. I really didn't like it. I mean, I'll say the actual Sasha part was great. When she's trying to get in there, like, guys. And they're like, hey, this girl, she's like, get pushed down. Like, this is a message. Like, here you go. Get the potato. Good job, girl. Potato. that part was great. But what I really didn't like was what happened to the whole filler thing. Last episode we saw this Sasha fighting, that was really good. That was what I hoped more for this episode. That felt really flat, for me. Like really flat. Really flat, because that didn't resolve itself in this episode. We saw Sasha fighting this very tiny Titan. That was really cool with an arrow and axe. And I loved that part. Then we see him meet her father, right? And yada yada. And it's like, but it didn't end, you know? Maybe I just wanted to see the kid get eaten. Or something, that little cute, shocked kid. Maybe I want to see her getting killed or something. But I don't know, it felt like that part was absolutely not resolved, I would say. Maybe, I guess he escaped. But it felt like, you know, she's out there fighting Titan out in the woods. I guess it was kind of resolved, I'm thinking about it. But it doesn't feel like they actually resolved that part, right? It felt like it could be more story there, absolutely. I expected it to be a little more, like maybe a few minutes more than that part. And then she getting here. What we saw right now, but they just skipped it. Or that felt to me actually pretty big lacking actually. I actually think about that was a big minus for me. That didn't actually go into more Sasha, and also didn't go into much Conny either. I'm hoping they actually were gonna have more Conny here in the anime in the beginning. Actually, a longer scene with Conny, the first minutes there. Also disappointing actually. Then of course you see the whole, you know, how they walk around. You can't find a hole. Good. I think the animation was really good, especially when he was thinking about shit. You can touch it anywhere. You see like bigger and bigger attacks are coming around him in his fantasy. There, it's like, oh fuck. That was really good when the writers. So good animation overall. Of course, that is what I think that is really selling on, right? Because the manga is not very good drawn, especially in the beginning of the manga. It's quite ugly. Huge lack of details and so on. And the anime made it much better. So now, when the manga is a little further in and the artist has a better drawing, the anime isn't that much better, but it still feels like when I watch it in anime, yeah, this is better than the manga. So if you have the patience to wait, I would actually recommend to actually just keep watching this anime until it's over this, and then you read the manga maybe after this season, because this is better though than the manga was. This episode that is covering those maybe 1 or 2 chapters, because chapters are very long, right? They're like 3-4 chapters of the normal manga. It's better, absolutely. So that's good at least. I mean, top quality animation, top quality. I think sound effects, music, voice acting, everything that is really good. really good, and it's more details and so on in the anime, right? But I didn't like that. It's a Sasha thing, but that probably is more in the last episode's fault. That it felt to me that it wasn't resolved, right? It felt to me there could be more story on that, and that's all. Yeah. So last point I want to say though, you should also note in the end, and if you have some ideas about that Hansha, she didn't say, "Oh, that blonde girl." She was more like, "What, Ymi's friend?" I think that's an interesting foreshadowing. That she's mentioning what Ymi's friend. Yeah, that's interesting. So anyway, see you guys next week. Have a great day.